All right. Looks like we are live on YouTube. So welcome in everybody watching over on YouTube. We are so glad to have you with us today. And Eimear and I are just so excited. We were just sharing before we went live. We are just incredibly excited to have this call with you and share this amazing magic of Scotland with all of you. So welcome in everybody. And those on YouTube, please put your name and location into the comments. Happy solstice to everybody. And let us know in the comments how you're feeling at this solstice time and holiday time. Very light-filled time. Let's see. So welcome, Eleanor Joy in Vancouver Island. Welcome, Demeter in London. I love your name. Very goddessy. Welcome, Janice in Vancouver. Welcome, Jen in San Diego. Welcome, Lori in sunny Florida. I'm sure it's much warmer in Florida than it is where I am right now. Welcome, John in Bloomington, Indiana. Gloria in California. Welcome, Kasha. Hi, Kasha and George. So great to have you here in Eagle, Colorado. Welcome, Kelly in Murrieta, California. Michelle in Suffolk, UK. Welcome, Serena in the Netherlands. Joanne in Santa Rosa. John in Edinburgh. Welcome, John. Glad to see you from Edinburgh. Welcome, Vanessa in Southwest Florida. Stephen in the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont. Wow, beautiful. And so many more. Welcome, everybody. We are just delighted to have you with us today. And welcome, Amy in Iowa. I see you here on YouTube, and welcome everybody joining us on YouTube. Well, we have a very energetically powerful presentation to share with you today from all of our excitement and that we are gathering at the solstice time. So we just hope you all will enjoy this so much. So settle in and get comfy, get your cup of tea, turn off the distractions, and fully land here with us because this is going to be a very beautiful, magical, and powerful journey that we will go on today. So we want to both first tell you about our connection to Scotland. And Eimear, you have these amazing mountains in Scotland in your background there. So I'll turn it over to you to share about, first of all, your connection to these magical lands.
Oh, thank you so much and welcome everyone. The energy is so powerful at this time. And I am here in central Scotland. I live in Falkirk. I've been here for 25 years. But people may pick up on my accent. I'm actually Irish. I'm from Dublin. And both places are my home. Maybe people feel that too. You live in one place and your native land is your home too. And I decided to transport myself to Glencoe. This is the backdrop here, this powerful mountainous region that's quite barren and snow-capped at the time of winter, this time of winter solstice. And we were chatting about this before about what is the attraction to Scotland and what brings you here and what keeps you here, what holds you here. And for me, it was two things that brought me to Scotland initially. Well, I don't know in which order. I better say the first is love. Love was the first one that brought me here, and the second was travel, adventure and travel. So I met my now husband in Dublin. And after working in Dublin for 2 years in financial services, I realized, wow, I want to get out and see the world. So we traveled around the world for a year. And then he knew he was called home to his native home in Scotland. And I just thought, what the heck? It's, another adventure. I didn't want to go back to Dublin. I wanted to keep the adventure and travel going, so I moved here. We moved to Edinburgh. I see we have someone from Edinburgh here. Moved to Edinburgh, and my sister actually lived here at the time. She left a few months after I moved over, just by synchronicity. But it's the Celtic lands. It's the beautiful Hebridean islands. It's the sense of humor of the people. It's very similar to Ireland as well. And it's also drive within an hour from where I am, and you're in the wilderness where you can drink from the rivers that flow off the mountains. And so you've got everything here. You've got the big mountains that you can climb, the Munros, you've got the beautiful islands, you've got the ancient sacred sites. So it's such a beautiful place, and it's where we've raised our th three children as well. So that's kind of the short part of how I've ended up here in Scotland. And I feel it's the kind of place that once you land here, Scotland and her islands, she really holds you in her arms and you just remain, you don't leave. Although you got away, Jocelyn.
I got away, not for long though. I can't wait to go back. Thank you, Emer, for
Mm.
sharing that story. And it's just so beautiful how kind of the paths of destiny brought you there and then you felt so at home there and your kids have been, grown up there and everything. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and they have little Scottish accents as well. Well, I say little, they're growing up now, but they're Scottish. So it's this multicultural family that we have now.
Mhm. Yeah. That's so beautiful. Yeah, well, my connection to Scotland is very interesting. I I so there's so many layers to tell. Let's see where to begin. I felt really called to Scotland within the last couple of years, I would say. Just I don't even know why. I would see images of the Callanish stone circle, which we'll show you images of in a bit here. And oh my gosh, it just moves me. I have these pictures of Callanish on one of my altars, and it just something deep in my soul is connected with those stones. And I don't even yet know exactly what that is, but it's really strong. So when I was planning a summer trip with my two daughters and my mom, we decided that in June of 2025, we would go to Scotland and England. And it was to see stone circles in both places, to see some of the sites in England and some of the sites in Scotland. And just as the itinerary worked out, we ended up spending way more than half of the time in Scotland. So that was just interesting because that was just how it worked out and like planning everything. And we got to visit Eimear and her family, and that was so lovely. We got to stay with them for a couple of days. So thank you for your hospitality, Eimear. It was so wonderful to meet your family. And so we had some time in brief time in London, and we took the train right up to Edinburgh, and we, spent a couple of days with Eimear and her family, and then we headed north. And it was such a magical journey. We headed up north toward the Isle of Lewis and Harris first, which is where Callanish is, because this was one of the calls of the trip. I just knew that I needed to be at Callanish Stone Circle on the summer solstice. So we kind of hightailed it up there to make it on time for the summer solstice. And that was just such a magical day. We found a guide who lived, on the Isle of Lewis, and she's been studying these stone circles for many years. And she was like the perfect guide. She was like this beautiful grandmotherly, lady that took us around, and she knew where, of course, Callanish 1 is the main circle, but she knew where Callanish 2 and 3 were, and she even knew where Callanish 4 was, which is apparently one of the lesser known ones. And so we got to explore all of them. And we stayed the whole day. We kind of went to Callanish 1 first and then went to the other ones. And then we came back to Callanish 1 because we just wanted to just be there. And it was so magical to feel the energies of the solstice. And what I didn't realize was at the time, or maybe until very late in the day that we were there, I didn't realize that Callanish is aligned with the lunar maximum, which occurs only every 19 or so years. So it happened in 2006. And it was also happening in June 2025 when we were there. And I didn't even know this, right? So we were there at this time that Callanish makes this incredible alignment with the moon. Now, we didn't stay and watch the moon, unfortunately. And I think it was cloudy by that time in the evening anyway, so I don't know that we would have seen it. But I'll show you in a slide in a little bit how the moon, what the moon does at that lunar maximum at Callanish. It's amazing, and it's only every 19 years. So we just happened to be there at that time, which is one of the key things that Callanish was built to honor and celebrate. And so from there, we explored around the Isle of Lewis and Harris, and we were just all so moved, me and my mom and my daughters, by the wildness of Scotland and the freshness of the air and the clean water and the land, which is really quite untouched by humans as compared to most other places. You know, there are people living there and there are people visiting, but I don't know if it's that it's so far to the north or that, it stays colder than, than most places that you go. It's just so special and it's like untrampled. It's very pure. And that is really special and that is really unusual and pretty hard to find in our world these days. So we traveled on to other stone circles. We saw a bunch of castles. There are many, many castles. We saw Stirling Castle with Eimear actually when we were heading back down toward Edinburgh. That was really magical with the unicorn tapestries. And so we had this whole magical adventure. And then we went south and we went to Glastonbury and spent more time in London and saw Avebury Stone Circle in England, right? So we had this whole magical time. And when we got back, within a week or two after we got back, I got an email from 23andMe that said, our, our analysis has been upgraded. Check out your new report. So this was so interesting what happened here because I had always known that I was German, English, and Irish, and that's what always came out on the reports, and that's what my mom had always told me. So coming back from Scotland, I opened this email from 23andMe, which I had the testing done, I don't know, like 8 years ago or something, right? And it said, you are 10% Scottish, which had never been disclosed before on any report or in any of my family known history. Turns out we're Scottish. And so this whole thing, there's just so many synchronicities and magical um, golden threads along the way that I'm really in awe and wonder about the whole thing. And so that's my story. That's my connection with Scotland. And I think it's going to deepen even more because I can't wait to go back.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And I remember chatting to you last year, and you were so definite. You knew you had to go to Callanish, like such a deep knowing and a strong calling to be there at solstice. And you made it happen, you know,
Yeah,
because it's far away.
it is
It's
far away.
remote. It's
It takes
remote, you know.
it takes ferry rides and all kinds of the 3 hour ferry ride, actually. Yeah. Which is a whole other part of the experience in Scotland. That's really fun, actually, is to go on these ferry rides across the waters because you're going to the outer islands that are on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean. It's really, really amazing.
Wow. And 10% Scottish, just receiving that, the synchronicity, like
Yeah.
this final stamp of like, yes.
Yeah, right. Like, okay, Scotland approves.
Yeah, and that you belong. You belong. You are part of this landscape.
So interesting. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I love what Linda said here. You can visit Callanish without having to pay, that you can just walk in. Yeah. And we want it to stay like that forever. It's not
Mhm.
behind a fence. Exactly, Linda. It's so, so special. And you do have to, like, you really have to want to get there because you do have to drive way up north and take the ferry, and the island is fairly remote. But the town that you probably would stay in, which is Stornoway, is like the sweetest place on earth. It's just this adorable little seaside town, and the people are so friendly there. So yeah, it's worth the journey 100 times over. So I will share with you a few slides, everybody, just to let you kind of deepen into some of this that we're talking about with imagery. I always like to add the imagery. I think it makes such a such a difference. And so here's the central circle of Callanish. And so you can see, and this is true of all of these stone circles all across Scotland, every stone is different. Every stone that they took out of the ground was cut or broken into, these very unique shapes, and they each have their own personality. It's just so incredible. And this was a photo that I took toward the setting, nearing sunset, although sunset on the summer solstice in northern Scotland is like 11 p.m. at night or 11:30 at night. So this was inching slightly toward sunset. It was facing the west and on the summer solstice this past June. So you can see that this is a circle around a central burial cairn that's right here. And the interesting thing here is that this burial place then is aligned to this stone, which is aligned to that western direction of the solstice. So this is the central circle. And it's aligned with the winter solstice sunset, actually, I should say, just to be clear. The summer sunset would be way more over in this direction, right, to the west. But that would be further to the north. The winter solstice sunset would be over here, more to the south. In any case, this is the beautiful central circle. And this is an overhead image of the whole thing. And it is so interesting because it does form kind of a cross shape. And there's this main approach here that may have been like a ceremonial walkway. That's one of the theories. And then the people would come into this central circle area. But it's so beautiful. And you can see it's out here in the middle of the farmlands. And as we were saying, there's no fence. You can just drive, park there, and walk right up to all these beautiful stones. Is there anything you wanted to say about this one, Eimear?
I'm getting tingles watching it, and I feel like I'm just there with the ancestors walking
Mm.
in ceremony, in reverence to this creation. And as you the prior picture, it's like the faces. Yeah, and Anna's saying the Celtic cross. Yes. And the faces and the stone people. It's so powerful. It's such a powerful place.
I feel like you could come here and spend a whole day with each stone. Like I would want to be there for, 40 days or 50 days, however many stones there are. And like, because everyone is so different. This one, I don't know if you can tell from the picture, but it's got this real long piece that's sticking up and out. Like they're each a unique individual. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
They each hold a different energy. This is a numbered map of it. And all of these images of Callanish that I'm sharing, credit goes to Megalithomania. They have done beautiful work with investigating this site. It looks like I think there's a total of 53 stones, actually. That's interesting because there's 50. Well, yeah, I don't know. There's so much that is a mystery about these circles as well, right? And that's part of like why it's so amazing to go there is that different pieces, different clues will be revealed to each person that goes. And we're putting those puzzle pieces back together today. But yeah, this is another overhead view that's with the stones numbered. And then this is a chart that I found really interesting because it's starting to look at the lunar alignment. So the moon comes in over these mountains that are to the south of the circle. And it travels across the top of these mountains, which I'll show you an actual picture of that in a minute. But these alignments of the stones and how they point to the moon at its lunar maximum which, as I said, is only an every 19 or so year event, is just incredible. Like, this is one of the things, definitely astronomically, this has been confirmed and verified, over and over again. So there's incredible geometry here. There is the winter solstice sunset alignment. There is the lunar maximum alignment and more. So here's the moon. Now these mountains here, it's a bit fuzzy in this view, but it's the shape of a woman. It's the shape of a lady. So this is her head. This would be her chest here, and this is her body. And this is some of the ancient knowledge that the guide there knew from that's been carried down through the generations about this site, is that this lady, this sacred lady in the mountains, was honored and revered in this place. And the connection between the lady and the moon, right? The sacred feminine and the moon. And the moon does this incredible dance with her when it's at its lunar maximum, where it essentially rises, travels just above her body, and then sets around this area up here at the end of the night. And it's just incredible. There are videos you can find online of the like time lapse of the moon and how it travels over top of her. Really, really beautiful. So these are some of the mysterious alignments of Callanish. And then here's another really powerful stone circle, which is called cairns. And there are, at this site, stones, and there are 3 burial cairns, and this is one of them. Now, most of these sites in Scotland are said to be about 5,000 or 6,000 years old. As always, I wonder about that, because that is definitely one of the times that they were in use. We can't carbon date stone, we can only carbon date organic material. So that means that there were bones, or maybe, food leftovers or something that was found dated to 5,000 or 6,000 years ago at most of these sites. That means that was one time they were in use. It does not mean it was the first time they were in use, because we could dig further down or uncover more stones and find more organic material that was from 7,000 or 8,000 years ago, right? Or more. We don't know until we find it. But in any case, you can't date stones. You can't tell when the stone was moved and dug from the earth and placed in this cairn or in this stone circle. So we always want to question those dates a little bit, at least. Now, in this case, there would have been someone buried in the center here. And you can see that these stones, while they're not huge, these are not megalithic stones, but they were very sturdily placed. So these have been here 5,000 or 6,000 years at least, and they have held their shape of this circular cairn. And that's pretty amazing. Now, this cairn lines up with this stone that I'm standing next to in this picture. So this is the cairn back here. So the passageway out of the cairn points directly toward this stone, and all of it points directly toward the winter solstice sunset. And that's really powerful, because we have to imagine at that time, the winter solstice is the rebirth of the sun. The winter solstice sunset is when the sun is going to set. And then on the next day, it's going to rise again. And the days are going to get longer. The sun is going to get brighter every day after that, right? So we can imagine then that they were aligning the burial cairn with that place of the rebirth of the sun. The sun dies and then will be reborn. So this person has passed away and then they will be reborn. Clearly, I have chills as I'm talking about that. It's just so beautifully written in these alignments. So this is a beautiful circle, and there are 3 cairns, real big cairns like this, and 3 main stones, and then other stones as well around, of all different shapes, all different personalities. And this stone right here actually, and the large stones in this place, are said to be part of the inspiration for the Outlander series. So this site has become more famous since Outlander came out, apparently. That's what we were told. And then one more image I'll show you here is these amazing standing stones of Stennis. Now, I know, Eimear, you and your husband have been here. I haven't been this far north yet. This is on the island of Orkney, which is even farther north than where my family and I went. And this site has alignments with the summer solstice sunrise. So as we're gathering on the solstice, there's all this beautiful solstice energy in the alignments of Scotland. Did you want to say anything about these stones? Because I don't know as much about these yet.
Oh, just I love stones anyway, and these are the stones of all stones. In my view, they are huge. I mean, you can see the sheep there. That's a normal size sheep. And these stones tower. It's not like a giant sheep and small stones. These
Yeah.
tower above you 10, 11, 12 feet above, and they are the stone giants. The energy here, I mean, you can even feel it from the photo. So this is Orkney. It is off the coast of the north of Scotland. It's such a remote place, and you're surrounded by sea lochs and freshwater lakes and the ocean, because Orkney is a series of islands, smaller islands. And you have these stones of Stennis that have been standing for however long, thousands and thousands of years, each one a different shape, as you can see. And yes, such a powerful energy. What strikes me is how amazing it is that they are still standing because they're so thin. They're actually quite thin. There were more, but sadly in the 1800s, a farmer ploughed some of them over, which was sacrilege. And they are protected, of course, now. Um, yeah, such a powerful place. And again, you can rock up for free and be there and spend time with these beautiful, beautiful beings. The Ring of Brodgar, I don't know if you have a photo of that, but that's also nearby. So again, it's the ceremonial pilgrimage nature of these sites where ancient ancestors would have gone in ceremony and walked between these stones and between these sites. So that would have been a ring, and there's central like an altar. It felt like for me. We've been here a few times actually, and yeah, it feels like there's this central space, an altar, place of worship for our ancients and for us now as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just feel the power of it already from the image, as you said.
Mhm.
So beautiful. Okay. Well, those are the slides I have for you all. I hope that has helped you to just fully immerse a little more, dive in. Um, so we are really excited to share with you all that Emer and I will be guiding a tour of Scotland to see these stones that we've shown you here today and many more stones and many more places in September 2026. And we're both just so excited we can hardly stand.
We've been waiting for this moment for
Yes,
eons.
we've been planning it for a long time now. So yeah, we are really excited to invite you on this epic mystical journey in September 2026. And I will share with you, let me just get my screen to the right page here, and I will share with you some of the details of the itinerary just so you can see like the dates and where we'll be going and start dreaming into it. And if you feel called, definitely let us know. We would love to have you join us, those who feel called. And this will be a very intimate experience. We can have just a maximum of 11 guests. So this will be a really beautiful time to be in an intimate group and go really, really deep into all that we are each exploring as we move through these sacred lands and sacred spaces. So here is the page, and I'll put the link to this in the chat below the YouTube video as well, in the Zoom chat and the YouTube chat. I'll put it in all those places soon. But this is called Unlocking the Light Codes of Earth, Sea, and Stone, an epic mystical journey in the wild north of Scotland. And it will be for about 2 weeks around the equinox from September 9th to the 24th, 2026. Now, I do invite you to come and check out this page and look at all of it in detail. I'm going to mainly focus on the itinerary here, but we will be exploring the Northern Isles, which are the Hebrides and the Outer Hebrides, which are just the energy on these islands is so incredible. And I just feel that this is so connected with Atlantis. We'll explore that theme frequently, I'm sure, as we're there. I mean, the shapes of the stones and the energy of these lands, I feel such a strong connection with Atlantis, and it's right on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean. So we'll see. But this is just an incredible place to visit. And one of the core pieces here. Oh, and this is Ian. This is that's the Stones of Stennis, right?
Yes, yeah. So for scale, Ian is 6 foot
That's just amazing.
or just under. So that's yeah, they are huge. Yeah,
Yeah.
the stones.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible.
Mm.
So one of the invitations, and there will be so much more that we discover as we go, but one of our invitations for those who will journey on this pilgrimage with us is the concept that in our previous lifetimes and in our previous generations, we have left clues, we have left treasures, we have left wisdom hidden in these lands. And those who feel called and decide to go, I'm sure, you have left those clues in these lands of the north of Scotland. And we're going there to uncover those clues from the land. We're going there to discover the keys and light codes that we have held before and to reclaim them and to reclaim our power through doing so. Do you want to say anything about that, Eimear?
I feel emotional as you're sharing that because my goodness, what journeys I imagine like we've been on and so many throughout many lifetimes. And it feels like such a relief that this moment has come in this life that we can go and retrieve these treasures that are held sacred and secret for so long. And it's safe now. We can retrieve them. And I'm so glad you mentioned Atlantis as well. That's such a beautiful link to this, the pure magic, the pure power of those times now. Yeah,
Yeah,
beyond words.
it's beyond words. Yeah, truly, truly it is. So here's us. We will be your guides. And this is a really cool image looking across. This is from the Isle of Harris near Tarbert, looking toward the Isle of Skye. And this just gives you a sense for these lands where like the land and the waters and the sky merge. And it is incredible. So many vistas that are just beyond belief. You can come check out our testimonials here, but here is our itinerary. So September 9th, the journey begins. So we welcome you to arrive to Edinburgh by September 9th. You may want to arrive a couple days early. I know I will, so that you can just settle in and begin enjoying the energy of this place. And there we are in Edinburgh. That was in June. And we'll have a wonderful welcome dinner together and open our circle on this day with an opening ceremony. Now, maybe you might want to jump in, Eimear, to explain more about this. We're going to be connecting with the uh, the goddesses of the land and the king and queen energy throughout this tour. So in this opening ceremony, we'll connect with Queen Scotia, who's actually connected to Egypt. This is something that Eimear was researching and discovering. Oh my goodness.
Yes, yes. And actually, Ireland was originally called Scotia, and then that name became the name for Scotland. And it is this Egypt-Scotland connection for Queen Scotia, who's believed to be Queen Meritaten, the daughter of Akhenaten. And also, for those of you who follow me or those who are new to me, this is Edinburgh is where I had my witch awakening back in 2020 on the Lions Gate. So the witch energy, as in the wise one, the wise woman and man, the divinity of that wisdom is so powerful here on the land. It's volcanic, it's fiery, and it's watery energy as well. There's a real potent power here. So that's what we'll be connecting with, even in along the Royal Mile is so
Oh,
packed with so much energy. Yeah, and the king queen energy, it's reclaiming the divinity of that energy now for these times. So yeah, I know there's a lot that's going to rise up because that's been the messages from the witches to rise up and return to our power at this time.
yeah. Yes. And a synchronicity further strengthening our theme here is almost all of the hotels that we'll be staying at just happen to be called the Royal Hotel. So we actually do have the Edinburgh Hotel. I need to fill that in on the page. It's the Leonardo Royal Hotel.
Yeah.
And we'll be staying at the Royal Hotel in Stromness and etc. It's just so amazing how that worked out. So we will be reclaiming our king and queen energy. And as it says here, reclaim your golden grail crown as we walk in the royal mile. And this will be such a beautiful, profound exploration of your true power that you're ready to awaken within yourself.
Yeah. And
So then,
the
oh, go
healing
ahead.
as
Yeah.
well. Sorry, yeah, the healing that will arise too to create space for our power to rise. So yeah, there's going to be a lot, I feel, that will rise here.
Yes. And then we will begin to head north. And here are some of the mountains that Emer has behind her in her background of Glencoe. So we will drive west out into the countryside, and we're going to stay one night in Glencoe, where these amazing mountains are. You can see this tiny little house on the in the valley there. We're going to stay one night out here, and we're going to really take some time to explore and hike in the mountains and begin looking for those pieces, those fragments of ourselves that we hid in the land, because surely these mountains will hold some of them. And this will be the new moon in Virgo. What an incredible time to awaken the priest and priestess energy within ourselves and to reclaim the wisdom that we held when we were in the temples, in the stone circles, and we knew all of the rituals and ceremonies. That is Virgo. So this will be as we continue. And I'm going to move through a little bit quickly, but you guys can come and check out more details when you come back to the page. So then we will take the ferry the next day from Ullapool to Stornoway, and we will reach the Isle of Lewis, which actually means the Isle of Light. Here's a beautiful photo of the view from the ferry as we're leaving Ullapool. This is these adorable little houses that stretch way out into the waters, and we go around this way and out to the Isle of Lewis. So we will settle in Stornoway, this just adorable and very quaint little town, very cozy, very welcoming, and begin to settle in. And we'll have actually 4 nights on the Isle of Lewis. We tried to design this so we're not moving around too much. So you'll have time to really settle in and ground in most of the places that we go. And the Isle of Lewis is the first one that you will get to really spend some time. We'll be there for 4 nights. And so then the next day we'll visit Callanish. We've told you a little bit about that already. And we'll see the lady in the mountains, this beautiful fertility goddess. And you'll get to connect with these stones, see which ones speak to you. We'll spend as much of the day there as we possibly can. I assure you, you will not want to leave. As it says here, if we're very lucky, we'll see Callanish 4 as well as 1, 2, and 3. It was recommended to me in an interview with Freddie Silva to go. He said, you have to find Callanish 4. You just have to find it. So that's why we made sure. And we will try to find it again. Um, I almost feel like Callanish 4 is one of those things that fades in and out of the mist, and you can only get to it if it wants you to be there. That's kind of the energy. And then we'll have on this next day, we will drive to the Isle of Harris, which the Isles of Lewis and Harris are actually one piece of land at the edge of the Atlantic Ocean, but they're separated by these very tall mountains in the center. So, as it was explained to me, the ancient people there originally considered it two separate islands because they couldn't really easily cross these mountains. So they had to go by boat from the one end to the other. So they considered it two separate islands. The Isle of Harris is on the southern end of the landmass, and this beautiful Luskentyre beach is there. This place is incredible. It is just, you can see all the light streaming in. It is magnificent there. And we're going to have very special meditations and crystal bowl sound healings in certain places. And this will definitely be one of them. Um, what would you want to say about this, this place, Emer?
We actually have a gorgeous photo on our fridge, and I first went to Harris and Lewis. Our daughter was just starting to walk, so we actually bought her first pair of shoes in Stornoway. So she's now 20. So there must be something symbolic about that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And then we have a photo of Ian has her on his back with the backpack, and we're running along the beach, and she's got the biggest smile ever and her woolly hat on because it was windy. And oh my goodness, the magic of this place, and also how in a moment the weather can change and you get a different view. So it's never the same. And I love that photo of you, Jocelyn, on that beach. It's so remote, and it's also so empty, but we're going to fill it up.
Yeah, there's nobody else there. I mean, I don't know if sometimes there are, but there were a few people kind of camping, and there's a little camping area near it, and there were some people camping there, but there was basically nobody else on the beach when we were there. And that's one of these really cool things about where we'll be going is it is remote. It is untrampled. And there are rainbow sheep. Also, I'll just mention the kids loved this and I loved it too. So the people on Lewis and Harris, they let their sheep kind of roam free, but they spray paint them with different colors depending on who the sheep belong to. So then they can sort them when they need to. So you will see sheep with rainbow splotches of color everywhere. And it's just there's rainbow sheep. Even in Stornoway, you could buy these little rainbow sheep in the souvenir shop. It was so cool.
And they carry the crock of gold around their neck, don't they?
Yeah. Yes, right. The gold at the end of the rainbow. Yes.
Yeah. The sheep are
Um,
gold.
I'm going to put the link in the Zoom chat now for those who want to, if you want to open it on your computer. So once we're done showing you, you can take more time to look. Um, and then we will explore more of the Isle of Lewis as well, because there are other stone circles, there are other beaches. So we're going to kind of leave this day a little bit open, see where the magic guides us, and we will trust the synchronicities to take us exactly where we need to be on this day. Then we're going to go further north. This is a beautiful picture that Emer had of driving in Orkney with the ocean and rainbows. Oh my goodness. So amazing. And we will find rainbows and we will find unicorns on this tour because both of those are very present in northern Scotland. So we will head out of Stornoway, take the ferry back to Ullapool, and then we'll head north and take another ferry out to the Isle of Orkney. And we will be staying at the Royal Hotel in Stromness for another 4 nights here. Again, so you can really settle into these beautiful lands of Orkney Island. And we will see those amazing stones of Stennis and the Ring of Brodgar. Um, and we'll go deeply into the history that is known, as well as having ceremonial space to really connect in with what do you perceive? What is the transmission that you will receive about these stones, about this land? You can see how vast it is. The skies just go on forever, stretching out across the waters. It's so amazing there. Did you want to say anything about any of this humor?
I just love the skies. It reminds me of being in Australia, of that remoteness, but also the big skies.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
beautiful. I'm just grinning here. Like, can
We
I
can't
come?
wait there. Yes. And we'll get to explore more of the island of Orkney. This is Kirkwall. This is a Viking cathedral. How amazing. Jump in at any time, Emer, because I haven't been this far north, so I know you know more about these places than I do. And we'll have a whiskey tour for you guys at some point. I think it will likely be here on Orkney, but it's very important when you go to Scotland, you've got to go on the whiskey tour at some point. It's
Take
essential.
the true spirit of Scotland.
Yes. Um, this is Skara a Neolithic village that they have excavated. There are so many incredible sites that we will see.
And that Skara Brae was covered over in sand, and there was a storm that uncovered I don't know the exact date, but it was like not long ago, and it
Wow,
uncovered this intact archaeological site. And it's right on another beautiful beach as well.
amazing, amazing. Oh, and this is going to be really, really special. I just start getting full body chills whenever so think about this place. So, well, Emer, I'll let you explain how this is another island, even off of Orkney, that we'll get to go to.
Yes, yes. So Orkney is you have the main island of Orkney, and then, as I said earlier, it's a series of smaller islands. So Hoy is another island as part of the Orkney Islands that we'll take a ferry to. And it was actually through Freddie Silver that I heard about. Well, I'd heard of the Old Man of Hoy, but also another archaeological site on Hoy. And this is a walk. It's maybe an hour's walk, maybe less, but it's quite an easy walk along the top of the cliffs. You're not too close to the cliff edge, but you come to this sea stack, and oh my goodness, it's so dramatic. People do rock climb up to the top of
Oh,
that sea stack. It's amazing. And you peer over the edge, and the wild waves are crashing against the rock. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful place, really powerful. And we say hi to the old man. There he is. He's ancient.
amazing.
Yeah.
And then I'll let you speak to this one too, because you've been there.
There I am. There I am. And you can actually see my dog's paw prints. That's his paw prints inside this
Oh,
shirt.
here.
So
Riley.
this is what I had heard about through Freddie Silva, that there was this, it's called the dwarfy stain, stain as in stone. And from the road, it looks like a big boulder, but when you come up to it, it's been carved out and it's all smooth inside. And you have these spaces that are like a comfortable bed. And I just started sounding, much to my children's embarrassment, but there was no one around, only sheep. And they love a nice sing song, actually. And the acoustics in there. Oh, I can feel tingles in the back of my neck. It's such a powerful place. And the stone outside, it perfectly fits that gap. So they believe people went in here like a womb, like a sacred chamber, and then came out renewed to rise up to resurrect. So according to Freddie Silva, it's the practice of living resurrection
Mm.
that we go in there and become transformed, and it's extremely powerful within the mountains and the moorland around it. It's a very powerful place.
That is
How many
so,
times, how many
so
times have we said powerful
that's just
and
the
stones?
best word for it. That just, oh my gosh, it just feels to me like going inside the Great Pyramid and the
Mm.
ceremonies, the resurrection rituals there. Yeah. Whew. Incredible. So we will go here, everybody.
Mm.
And after that, we will head on from Orkney and we will go to Inverness. This is the beautiful city of Inverness, Scotland, which is quite far north still on the mainland. Now we're not in the islands anymore. We'll be on the mainland, but still quite far north here. And this is a very delightful, very walkable city. And there are great restaurants, shopping if you wish. We will stay, of course, at the Royal Highland Hotel, and we'll get settled in there on this day. And then we'll go to Cairns. So Cairns, I showed you the couple of pictures in the slideshow, has three stone circles, three burial cairns. It is the inspiration for the Outlander stone circle, evidently. And we'll also on this day get to see Loch Ness. You can look for Nessie, see if you spot her. And when I was there, we got a tour with a guy he was native to this area, and even he played as a child in the ruins of Urquhart Castle because he lived right there. And this is Loch Ness next to Urquhart Castle. And he was saying that there were locals that just had absolute definite stories of seeing Nessie. Like it was not questioned. It was just a known fact that every once in a while somebody would see Nessie, and his mother included, and she had this incredible story about it. So it would be fun if maybe we can talk to some locals who have seen Nessie. And Urquhart Castle is really special as well. So we will visit there. It was originally built in the 13th century and very important historical site. And you can see it's largely in ruins now, but you can walk through and see the kitchen and the um, different areas of the castle. Really, really cool. And learn some Scottish history there. And we will continue on then and come to Edinburgh. Now, we want to be sure to take you to Stirling Castle. And what you see in this image here is part of the unicorn tapestries. Now, this is a deep story that I will not reveal at this moment because it's pretty involved. So we will reveal that very deep story that is tied to the deep feminine and Christ consciousness that is told in these panels of the unicorn tapestries in this incredible room in Stirling Castle. And the whole castle is quite amazing. It actually has a zodiac room as well. I mean, there's so many incredible things in this castle. So we'll explore the whole castle, but we will spend extra time with the unicorn tapestries. Um, oh, and this will be the equinox. So we will be sure to have an equinox celebration on this day. And we'll be staying once again at the Leonardo Royal Hotel. Now, we wouldn't want to bring you to Scotland and not have you go to Rosslyn Chapel. So, this incredible place, and there's a picture of me and Eimear outside of Rosslyn Chapel. Would you want to say a few words about it, Eimear? That was amazing.
Wow. Um, People may have heard of Rosslyn, or maybe you've been there. The Da Vinci Codes, Dan Brown's books, brought it to life, and part of the movies were filmed inside Rosslyn Chapel. But it's connected to the Knights Templar, to the quest for the Holy Grail, and it's was built by the Sinclair family. And actually, when we were there, we met descendants of the Sinclair family. We just happened to start speaking to these ladies that were visiting from Canada. And it is an acoustic chamber. It upholds the principles of cymatics, of sacred geometry. There is so much here to spend time. We spent quite a lot of time here ourselves when I went with you, Jocelyn. Again, it's another very powerful place. We'll tell the story of the apprentice pillar, which really, really, the first time I went here, really moved me to tears, the story, and we'll share that there. It is such a celebration of the king queen energy,
Yeah.
and also has powerful ley lines and note points. There's some energy vortexes within the chapel as well that we'll spend time with. So it's
Yeah.
beautiful temple space.
And this is obviously the outside. You're not allowed to take pictures of the inside because if you could, I would have posted about 6 or 20 of them here because the intricate carvings on basically every inch of the inside. When I was as a comparison to a place in Egypt, when I was inside of Roslyn Chapel, I felt the same way that I feel in Dendera Temple, which is that the mysteries of all time and space are encoded here in these carvings. That is how it felt to me. And you'll see, you'll feel it. It's amazing. You know, that when this was created in the 15th century in medieval times, they had these connections to that lost, now more largely lost and very, very ancient wisdom that is in Dendera Temple, that is in the stone circles, that is in the, ancient temples of many lands. And it is really, you can feel it there. So quite an amazing place. And we will have tea at the Witchery, which is going to be a beautiful experience, and a beautiful closing circle and closing dinner on this night back in Edinburgh. And then the next day will be departures. This is a stone on the summer solstice, by the way, from either Callanish 2 or 3. I'm not sure. I want to find out when we go back. But you can, stay extra days if you want for integration purposes, or head right home on the 24th if you wish. We do ask that you stay through the night of the 23rd so that you can fully immerse with the group for the closing circle and closing dinner. And same as I say for Egypt, really try to let yourself have 1 to 2 weeks of deepening and integration time upon returning home before you have to go back to all the work and everything. I know in some cases you will have to go right back to work, but try to give yourself as much space as you can because there will be so much that you have received and healing that you've done and so much to integrate. So I just like to say that always in advance. Leave as much integration time as you can. Okay. And we have quotes here from some of our clients and students of mine and Eimear's. Oh, here's a picture of us in the gardens at Stirling Castle. So we will share with you the investment here. And so just, being realistic, it's fairly expensive in Scotland. And the pricing here is in dollars, but keep in mind the currency there is pounds, which the exchange rate of pounds to dollars is not favorable to dollars. So we found that the costs are quite high. So the pricing is this absolute very, very best deal that we wanted to give you of 9,500 per person. Now that is the early bird price. So in order to claim that price, you would want to register, send in your registration form, which you can click the button here and do that, and send in your initial deposit of $1,500 no later than January 30th. This is the absolute lowest we can possibly make it. And after that, the price goes up to 10,300 after January 30th, which is still an amazing bargain. I mean, we are going to so many sites, staying in really nice hotels. It is going to be an experience of a lifetime for sure. So, this is how to register down here. Just click the button, fill in the registration application. We will then send you the instructions to send in your deposit. And once we receive your $1,500 deposit, your space on the journey is secured. This says 10. We actually can allow 11 participants. And we do recommend sending in your registration form right away. There are already 3 spaces filled on this tour. So we have hardly told anybody about it, but those few that we told were eager to sign up. So I think these places are going to fill very quickly. So I would say don't hesitate. And then here are the other payment terms, just so that you're aware. 1,500 deposit due immediately, 50% of the balance left will be due on March 1st, and the final payment due on June 1st, so we can pay the hotels and buy all the tickets and everything that needs to be done. So here's another journey looking across the land and sea and sky. So I will stop the share here, and we welcome your questions about anything that we've shared here today. We are going to go into a shamanic journeying space soon, but we want to address your questions first, so then we can just leave you in the beautiful journeying space. I'll put the link in the chat again for everybody, so you can go there, and it's, everything on the itinerary is listed. There's also a list of inclusions and exclusions below the part on the page that I got to. If you're curious about that, go check it out on the page. You can see what food is included each day and that kind of thing.
There was a question about dietary requirements.
Okay. Let's see. Love all these comments. Wow, everybody, thank you for sharing. Oh, Julie says, tears are flowing. I have been there for sure. Yeah. I feel you on that. It's just incredible. The soul connection to Scotland. Wow. I can't find the diet. Do you know what the dietary question was? I
It
can't.
was asking, I can't find it either just now, but it was asking about can we cater for certain dietary requirements? So these
Yeah,
are,
I mean, yeah, I'm sure that we can. Yeah. When I was there, my mom is gluten-free. I cannot have beef or pork. We had every time we ordered, we had to explain all these things in detail. So I think we could cater to any dietary needs. I mean, generally in the UK, I think it's, gluten-free is doable, dairy-free is doable, vegan and vegetarian would certainly be doable. So yeah.
yeah.
I would not have any problems about that. Here's a great question, Linda. She says, is single occupancy available? Unfortunately, no. In a lot of these places, it was, I mean, first of all, these hotels are already filling for next September, and they have very few single rooms. So in a lot of cases, the only rooms that they had are double occupancy. So that is going to be an important consideration for those coming on this tour. And part of the intimate nature of it is you will have a roommate for most of the time. There are just a few cases where we might have a single room here and there, but it's going to be rare. So you would want to plan on having, sharing a room throughout the tour. But you'll get to make a new friend or multiple new friends. And we want to make it work really well for everybody. So of course we'll try to pair people who are compatible with each other, and we'll make sure that it works in the best possible way. Oh, Lori says, I just registered. My dream is coming true. Thank you, beautiful ladies. Well, thank you, Lori Roddy. We can't wait to see you in
Oh,
Scotland. It's gonna be
welcome. And Jackie Hansen has also said, I'm registered.
Jackie. Yay. Oh, I'll be so glad to give you a hug in person, Jackie.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So Dorga says, I've just learned that I'm 24% Scottish. I've been wanting to travel to Scotland for a long time. Yeah. Come with us. I hope you can make it. Oh, she says, I'm in. Okay, good. Great.
Whoa. Uh,
Amazing. Amazing.
Can't wait to meet
Yeah.
you all in person.
Yeah. We know that those whose souls feel the call, you will be there with us. And it will be truly incredible, truly an incredible journey. Eimear and I we were like so joyful, like little, schoolgirls, like putting together this itinerary, like, oh my goodness, we get to go here, we get to go here, we get to go there. And it's so beautiful. It's such a magnificent journey and magnificent opportunity. And we are just honored to be able to offer it and humbled to be able to offer it as well.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
And that 2026 is such a year of new beginnings as well. I know you've been sharing the astrology of that, Jocelyn,
Right.
that, yeah, it's such a powerful year
It
to
really
step
is.
into.
Yeah. Yeah, we are, in case anyone hasn't heard my YouTube videos, 2025 is a 9 year numerologically, which is the completion year, 13 year by the Mayan calendar, also completion year, because theirs go from 1 to 13 and back to 1. And we've had many planets, lots of energy at the final degrees of Pisces, which are the final degrees of the zodiac. So from like many different systems, 2025 is the completion of actually many years, especially 2020 to 2025. We've been clearing and releasing. And so 2026 is a 1 year numerologically, new beginnings, a 1 year in the Mayan calendar, and huge amounts of energy at the very first degrees of the zodiac, astrologically. So it's a massive new beginning. And wow, what a way to celebrate it, to be in Scotland at the equinox, the September equinox. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, we'll go into all this when we're there. This time of the equal day and night is so powerful and was also celebrated by the ancients. Um, that's an important piece too. Thank you, Anna. She says, all best wishes for all who go. I'm not able to go this time, but my spirit will be standing with you in the stones. Yeah, amazing.
Oh, I love
Thank you.
that.
So, any last questions, everybody, before we go to the journey? And yes, there will be a replay. So we're recording this, and actually, it's available out on YouTube already. So if you've missed the beginning or if you have to miss the end, you can come right back to my Sacred Planet YouTube channel and watch any parts of it that you missed. Yeah. Okay. I don't see any other questions. So I think we can go to the journey.
Yeah.
And would it be good if I put um, an image up for the journey?
Yes, that would be wonderful. Malin is asking about the notorious Scottish weather.
That's all part of the beauty of it.
4 seasons in one day.
Mhm.
It'll be perfect.
Yes, that is all part of the adventure. And that's like part of the wild nature of Scotland. So yeah, don't worry. We will navigate all of that with joy and grace.
Definitely.
Okay, let me put up a beautiful image of Callanish here. Um, and Eimear, I will turn it over to you to guide us in the journey.
Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone, for being here live, for being in the replay at this potent time of solstice, winter solstice, the northern hemisphere, so summer solstice. In the southern hemisphere, both solstices holding the balance as do the equinoxes in the wheel of the year. And in this moment, I invite you to come into presence in this space where we're gathered together around the globe, and we're also gathered around the stones, our stone brothers and sisters, our ancestors, the stones as story keepers and wisdom weavers. They stand tall, waiting for this moment for you to connect now. So imagining that you are in a sacred space in nature, one that you may go to regularly, in reality, in your dream time, knowing that it is all real anyway. And within this space, feeling your souls connecting to the soil beneath you and the roots that unfurl from your souls into the earth as they make their way down, down to connect and ground you in this space, in this two-way flow of releasing and receiving, releasing, receiving. And anything that needs to flow and release now, invite that with your breath, your sacred breath of life. And as you fill up your body with this air so pure and free and sacred, connect to your crown chakra and invite roots to unfurl from your crown into the cosmos, to connect with our star brothers and sisters, the celestial beings, the planets, the sun, the moon, and anything else that is calling for your connection now. As the energy flows, the receiving, the releasing through your cosmic roots, as if you're connected earthly and cosmically within your heart, within your human form. And as you're feeling the aliveness of this energy flow within you, within this sacred space in nature, a portal opens up before you. And as the portal opens up, invite the presence of your ancestors, those who wish to walk with you at this time, whether they're connected to Scotland or not, those who wish to go on this journey, and any guides that you feel connected to, elemental beings, angelics, tree ancestors. And this portal you are invited to step through now. It is lined in gold, protecting your journey, so that you are going on a journey of the highest vibrational frequency. And as you emerge on the other side of the portal, take a moment to look around. Where are you in this space? You realize you have arrived in the land of Scotland, this powerful land in the north part of Great Britain, within the United Kingdom. Scotland opens her arms to welcome you home to these lands. And in this space you travel with the speed of light to the Callanish stones. Others have gathered already at this time of winter solstice. You hear the beat of the drum, the singing of the people, the call of your ancestors, the songs of the land. And you know exactly where to go in this space, because the stones are magnetic. They are pulling you towards them. And you walk up the ceremonial walkway, greeting the stones on either side, reaching out your hands to touch their rugged, ancient bodies, to connect with their faces and their shape and frequency, each one uniquely, subtly different, each one tuned to a particular frequency. And you connect with this great Callanish monument, and you feel into whether this is your time to access the inner circle of this mysterious, sacred site. And if that is a yes for you right now, you firstly walk in a circular clockwise direction on the outside of the central circle of stones, connecting to the energy, reacquainting yourself with the frequency. Your feet are bare, connected to the grass beneath you. The ground is cool, but not too cold. A refreshing coolness, a cleansing coolness that fills you up from the soles to your crown and beyond, overflowing out over your body like an energetic waterfall. And as you walk clockwise, you will know when you have connected sufficiently that it is your time to enter into the central circle of this monument. For those that are pure of heart are invited to come, rest, sit a while, or stand. Lean your back against me, the stones call. Rest your weary legs, you have walked so far for eons. Take a rest here. Feel the support against your back. Feel the heat rising as this new, ancient energy awakens within you. You are home here in the land of Scotland. Take a moment in silence to commune with the stones, to listen to their sacred stories, and to remember the stories that you encoded into the land here. For in this central space, you buried your treasures. For this specific time, you knew you would return. We knew we would return. We had to. And so when it feels right, you step forth into the very central point of this circle, aligned to cosmos and earth. And you feel the power of the energy lines roaring through you with such a force. But it's not overpowering. It's just right. And take a moment here as you place your hands upon the earth and you breathe in the grassy, earthy smell. The air is so fresh, it assails your nostrils. It's so pure. And as you connect, you take this moment to allow the memories to return. the memories of what you did plant here, encoded, buried in the land. This is your time to excavate the truth of these memories and to return them to your heart, the central chamber of your heart now. And know that the knowings, the memories, perhaps visions, or you will hear, that will return in divine time. We are opening the portal within this sacred portal now for the memories to arise in their divine time or through your dream time. You hear and feel the sounds and vibration of the drums. And it is as if the stones are singing back to you. And you notice and feel the heat of the sun. Even though it's Scotland, the sun god's rays warm you to the bones. And notice within this space if you're called to journey to another sacred site within these lands. You may be called to journey further south or north or in a different direction. Or perhaps you wish to be here in this space and to stay here now. To enjoy the peace and the power and the richness of this site. At this time of solstice, when the sun appears to stand still in the sky, this is your sacred pause to nourish your soul. And notice in this space if there's anything else that arises for you. Perhaps you're feeling the emotions flowing, and let them flow. The land loves your tears, so salty and nourishing, so releasing and healing. And you gather with your brothers and sisters, your guides, your ancestors. As you step outside the central circle, you explore more of this land here. And we gather for the final part in a circle, holding hands, connecting our energies, creating a human vortex now. And as we stir the energies outside and within, the stones join in. And when you feel sufficiently nourished, we send some energy out into the world to those who are thirsting for it, who most need their hearts to be warmed and nourished, their souls to be seen. And you feel that returning to you tenfold and more, like a figure of 8, infinity. And when you're ready, you rise and you walk back along the ceremonial walkway, bidding farewell to these magnificent beings And as the sun begins to set in the vast horizon, you make your way back towards the portal from whence you came. You step through into your sacred space in nature. And as the portal closes and is sealed behind you, you take a moment here in your sacred space to notice the transformation that has occurred in this time, in this space for you, and this connection that you can always nurture and maintain with the land of Scotland and the stones of Callanish, the Hebrides and the Isle of Lewis. We thank your guides, your ancestors, and all the beings that joined you on this journey. And when you're ready, you can bring some movement to your fingers and your toes. And if you feel like it, you can stretch out your arms, bring some movement to your body. Take a drink of water or herbal tea if you have some. And if you want to take a moment to write or journal, or just remain in this space, in this portal. And thank you from me, from Scotland. Thank you, Jocelyn, and all of you here live in the replay for going on this journey at this powerful time.
Thank you, Eimear. That was so beautiful. Thank you, everybody, for being here with us, either live or on the recording. And I hope you received so much from our sacred time together. And thank you again, Eimear. Wow, that was really so beautiful, so powerful. So grateful to you for the journey and for also the co-creation that we're doing here. It's really fun and expansive and filled with light. So thank you so much.
You're so welcome. And it feels like we're bridging the Atlantic. We're bridging Atlantis in
Oh,
this space.
interesting. Wow. Yeah. Amazing. Amazing.
Thank
Wow.
you.
So much love to everybody out there at this solstice time. May you have the most wonderful solstice and holiday and new year. We are sending lots and lots of love your way. And come back and do this amazing shamanic journey again, everybody, because it's really beautiful and powerful, and it's a gift. So,
Yeah.
and yeah, and for those who are looking for the recording, if you missed the beginning or anything like that, we will send an email out soon with the recording. And also you can come to my YouTube channel anytime and watch the whole thing because it's already on there now as we've been streaming by. Wow. Okay. Well, we look forward to seeing those of you who are called and able to join us in Scotland. We'll see you in September, and we'll talk to you in the meantime.
We're going to
And
have so much fun.
yeah, yeah. Yes. And everybody do celebrate this connection between the earth and sun that's happening right now at the solstice, and let yourself rest, let yourself dream, let yourself sleep more. Take some time away from the busyness. It is so important at this time of year. All right. Well, bye for now, everybody, and we'll see you again soon.